For an average person, all the things that I talked about seems too good to be true and basically genius-like qualities. Yet, it's guaranteed for every single person who completed the course. It does not matter how old you are, it does not matter what you can do with your brain and mind right now or how much you can memorize right now. It all doesn't matter. You don't need to be in shape to go to the gym. You go to the gym to get in shape. Same thing with phenomenal memory. No matter where you are, no matter who you are, you will have all these phenomenal abilities and you will be able to memorize entire books like everyone else. Our training is all inclusive. In other words, we develop brain as a whole. We're not really interested in developing just one little process or one little function inside of the brain. For example, just attention or just focus or just thinking speed or just memory or just creativity or ability to visualize. We're interested in enhancing all of them and see what we'll end up with when we enhance our brain in general as a whole. And this is basically what we end up with, this incredible, phenomenal, superhuman abilities. Ability to learn and memorize about 60 times more, 60 times faster, 60 times more efficient. And have this incredible superhuman computer unlocked inside of us so we can do all these incredible things. Not only you can memorize entire books and things like that, you can actually go back a few years since you started to use your phenomenal memory, and you can reproduce a whole day and tell me exactly what you did on that specific day, who you met, what you were doing in terms of your job or your hobbies, what meal did you have. All the things that you actually have done during that day, you will be able to tell me exactly in order if you want to. The training consists of 60 lessons. After you complete all 60 lessons, you will be able to memorize any types of information, including entire books. And you will have all these phenomenal abilities and all the qualities that I have just described. If you somehow don't have all these abilities and don't have all these qualities, and somehow you cannot memorize entire books, you just let us know and we'll refund your money, no question asked. You're also welcome to try our first lesson, and if you somehow not completely blown away by the effectiveness of the training, you just let us know and we will refund your money, no question asked. All lessons are available online. One lesson takes from 1 to 2 hours with exercises, and you can do 1 lesson a day, this is the maximum, or 3 lessons a week, this is the minimum, or something in between. In other words, if you do 1 lesson a day, you will have phenomenal memory and all these abilities in 60 days. The training works for everyone simply because it's based on natural mechanisms of the brain and memory. Same way working out at the gym works for everyone simply because it's based on natural mechanisms of the body and muscles. In other words, if you go to the gym and work out, you will lose weight and get in shape. If you go through Pmemory Training, you will have all these phenomenal abilities and you will be able to memorize any types of information, including entire books. The training is done online, and we have our teachers and instructors who will be working with you if you will have some kind of problems. So in other words, you will never left out and you're never alone in terms of trying to figure out what you need to do next. And basically, you don't need to figure out anything. You just need to open your lessons and do exercise by exercise, lesson by lesson, and basically just follow instructions exactly. You don't need to think about anything, you don't need to figure out anything. In this way, it's really actually simple. You just complete all the instructions, all the exercises, all the lessons, and you always know how much you have left. In other words, you don't need to practice for years, you don't need to practice all your life to get to that incredible result. You always know where you are in your progress, you always know how many lessons you got left, and after you complete all 60 lessons, you will have all these phenomenal abilities like everyone else, literally. There are many reasons why it's so powerful and so effective. One of them, for example, understanding exactly what's happening on the cell level inside of your brain when you memorize and forget. In other words, when we know exactly what's happening, we can actually reproduce it and emulate it through our mind, because our mind is more like a software. Our brain is like a hardware. So we can emulate certain processes and stimulate with our mind parts of our brain and basically reproduce the same procedure and the same process and mechanism that happens inside of our brain when we memorize something or forget something. And based on that, we not only can do it effectively, we can actually control the memorization or forgetting process. Ability to control memorization process is actually a huge part, Simply because if you cannot control something, you cannot make it slower, you cannot make it faster, you cannot make sure that it's done correctly. For example, when you use a repetition, all you can do is repeat information over and over again and hope it's memorized. And after 5 minutes, I can ask you, for example, what was the phone number that you just memorized? It can be gone from your head and there is literally nothing you can do. With phenomenal memory, we don't have that. We actually fully control memorization process. So we decide what we want to memorize. We decide where exactly this information will be saved inside of your brain. And we decide for how long this information will be saved. For a year, for a day, for 1 hour, does not matter. And we can actually go there and remove it completely from our memory if we want to.